The storm had no mercy. White ice filled the air like knives. The frozen planet did not forgive mistakes. The human veteran lived alone at the edge of the colony. Far from cities, far from people. He chose silence after years of war. His small metal shelter shook as the wind screamed outside. The temperature was far below survival levels. No living thing could last long in that storm. Inside, the veteran cleaned his old rifle. His movements were slow and careful. War never truly leaves a soldier. Then it happened. A sound. Soft, weak, almost lost in the storm. A knock. He froze. No one came here. No one was supposed to. Another knock followed, slower this time. Like the hand behind it had no strength left. The veteran stood up. His instincts woke instantly. Years of battle returned in one breath. He moved toward the door without noise. His rifle ready. His eyes cold and sharp. The scanner showed no human signal. Only unknown life signs. Multiple, but fading fast. Aliens. His jaw tightened. Memories rushed back. Alien raids, burning colonies, screams in the dark. These were enemies. Creatures that hunted humans during the war. Creatures that showed no mercy. The knock came again. Then stopped. Silence followed. Heavy and final. The veteran placed his hand on the door control. Opening it meant danger. Keeping it closed meant death for whatever was outside. He hesitated. Just for a moment. The door slid open. Cold air rushed in like a beast. Snow filled the entrance. And then he saw them. Alien wolves. Their bodies were large but thin. Covered in frost and ice. Their fur was pale blue and silver, now stained with blood. They collapsed the moment the door opened. Hitting the metal floor with dull sounds. Not attacking, not standing, just falling. One lifted its head weakly. Golden eyes met the veteran's gaze. There was no anger there. Only fear. And pain. The veteran raised his rifle. His finger rested near the trigger. One shot could end it all. The wolves did not move. They did not snarl or growl. They were too weak even to beg. A smaller one, maybe young, crawled closer. It stopped at his boots. Its breathing was slow and broken. The veteran felt something twist in his chest. He had seen this before. On battlefields. In dying soldiers. Outside, the storm grew louder. The door slowly began to close on its own. The cold crept back inside. He had seconds to decide. Enemy. Or refugee. He remembered orders from the past. No mercy for alien threats. He also remembered civilians he could not save. Faces that still haunted his sleep. The door alarm beeped softly. Warning of temperature loss. The veteran stepped back. Then forward again. He looked down at the wolves one last time. They trusted him without words. Without hope. Slowly. He lowered his rifle. Then suddenly. He lifted it again. The door slammed shut behind him. Locking the frozen night outside. Inside the shelter. The human veteran stood alone with his weapon. Surrounded by fallen alien wolves. And no one knew yet that this single moment would change the fate of humans and aliens forever. The shelter was silent now. Only the soft hum of heaters filled the room. Outside, the storm tried to break in. The human veteran stood still. His rifle raised. his eyes fixed on the alien wolves lying on his floor. They did not move. Their chests rose slowly. Each breath looked painful. He checked the door seal. Locked tight. No cold air leaking inside. For a moment, he told himself this was a mistake. Aliens had killed his friends. Aliens had burned human worlds. His finger tightened. One pull of the trigger would be easy. Clean, fast, final. But the wolves did nothing. No attack. No threat. One of them shifted slightly. A deep wound was visible along its side. Frozen blood cracked like glass. The veteran lowered the rifle just a little. Not mercy. Just caution. He moved closer, step by step. Every sound felt loud in the quiet room. The wolves did not react. A smaller wolf opened its eyes. Bright and golden. They followed his movement with fear. It tried to stand. Its legs failed. And it collapsed again. The veteran sighed slowly. He had seen this weakness before. Not in enemies, but in wounded soldiers. He remembered a battlefield long ago. Humans bleeding in the snow. Begging for help that never came. He shook his head. This is different, he told himself. These are aliens. Still, his body moved on its own. He grabbed a med scanner from the wall. Old but reliable. The screen flickered. Life signs appeared. Female. Young. Not combat units. That changed something. These were not warriors. Not raiders. Not killers. They were refugees. The veteran felt anger rise. Not at them. But at the galaxy. Something chased these creatures into a death storm. Something worse than the cold. One of the larger wolves growled softly. Weak and shaking. A warning, not an attack. It's okay, the veteran said quietly. His voice rough from disuse. I'm not shooting. The wolf did not understand the words. But it understood the tone. The growl faded. He activated a heat blanket. Carefully placing it over two of them. Steam rose as ice melted from their fur. The smell of blood filled the air. Metallic and sharp. The veteran clenched his jaw. Helping them meant risk. Alien patrols? Galactic law. Human command would not approve. His console beeped suddenly. A warning signal. Long-range scanners detected movement. Not near. But coming. The veteran's eyes narrowed. Someone was searching. He looked at the wolves again. Weak, hunted. Trusting him without reason. Whatever you ran from, he muttered. It's not friendly. The smaller wolf lifted its head again. Slowly, painfully. It pressed its forehead against the floor. A gesture. Not surrender. But respect. The veteran felt a strange weight in his chest. He had never seen an alien do that. He made his choice. Not loudly. Not proudly. He sealed the medical room. Activated emergency power. And blocked all outgoing signals. If they find you, he said softly. They find me too. Outside, far beyond the storm. Unknown ships adjusted their course. Following fading tracks. Inside the shelter. A human veteran stood between hunted aliens and the galaxy. And the line had been drawn. The storm outside began to fade. But inside the shelter, tension grew stronger. The human veteran stayed awake all night. Sitting near the medical room. His rifle rested across his knees. The alien wolves slept in shallow breaths, their bodies slowly warming, their wounds no longer freezing. Hours passed. Then one of them moved. The largest wolf opened her eyes, golden and sharp, watching the human without fear. She slowly lifted her head. Pain flashed across her face. But she did not cry out. The veteran stood up. Careful, quiet, ready for anything. She made a strange sound. Low and soft. Not a growl. Not a threat. Then something unexpected happened. A soft light appeared near her head. Blue symbols formed in the air. Old alien tech. A translator. Her voice came out broken. Weak. But clear enough. Human, please listen. The veteran froze. Aliens rarely spoke human trade language. Even fewer spoke with respect. You are hunted, he replied calmly. Why bring danger here? The wolf closed her eyes for a moment, gathering strength. We had no choice, she said. Our own empire wants us dead. That was not what he expected. She explained slowly. Their species was once loyal to the galactic rulers. Used as trackers, hunters, enforcers. They were taught one truth. Humans were weak. Humans were cruel. Humans deserved extinction. But during a secret campaign, they saw something different. They saw humans protect civilians. Even alien civilians. They saw humans stand their ground while outnumbered. They saw mercy. We questioned the lie, the wolf said. And that made us traitors. The veteran listened in silence. Every word cutting deep. They tested humans, she continued. They planned a final purge. The air felt heavy. The heaters hummed softly. The wolf revealed their secret. Hidden inside their bodies. Data cores. Proof of everything. War plans. Extermination orders. Records of human bravery erased from history. We tried to warn others, she said. They hunted us instead. The veteran clenched his fists. This was bigger than refugees. Bigger than one shelter. Suddenly, the console beeped. A sharp warning sound. Long-range sensors spiked. Multiple ships. Military grade. They were closer now. The smaller wolves stirred in fear. Instinct screaming danger. The veteran moved fast. Shutting down external lights. Powering weapons systems. How long do we have? He asked. Minutes, the wolf replied softly. They never stop hunting. Outside, shadows moved in the clouds. Metal shapes against white sky. The veteran felt something old return. Not fear. Not anger. Purpose. He looked at the wolves. Hunted for telling the truth. You chose the right door, he said. The wolf lowered her head again. Not in weakness. But trust. Outside, alien ships locked onto the shelter. Weapons warming. Orders already given. Inside, a single human veteran prepared to stand alone. And deep in the frozen frontier, the galaxy was about to learn that humans do not need permission to do what is right. The warning lights turned red. Soft alarms echoed through the shelter. The human veteran stood in the center of the room. Calm, focused. Like the storm had reached his mind. Outside, alien ships hovered low. Dark shapes cutting through the clouds. Weapons charging with a low hum. The alien wolves trembled. Not from cold. But from memory. They will not stop, the leader said softly. They never do. The veteran checked the tactical screen. 3 ships. Heavy armor. Hunter class. Old enemies. Powerful. Confident. He smiled faintly. Confidence had killed many before. He sealed the inner doors, moving the wolves deeper into the shelter, protecting them like wounded squad mates. Stay down, he said. Do not move unless I tell you. The ground shook. The first blast hit the outer wall. Ice and metal flew into the storm. The shields held. Barely. The veteran activated ground defenses. Old human turrets rose from the ice. Hidden for years. The first alien ship fired again. Blue energy slamming into the shield. The shelter groaned. The veteran breathed slowly, counting seconds, waiting for the right moment. The second ship moved closer. Too close. He pressed the trigger. A single turret fired. A focused beam of human energy. Not loud. Not flashy. The alien ship's shield flickered. Failed. Then the hull split open. The ship fell from the sky, crashing into the ice fields. A fireball swallowed by snow. Inside the shelter, the wolves stared in shock. One human weapon, the leader whispered. How? The veteran did not answer. The third ship pulled back. Sudden fear replacing confidence. Then the ground sensors screamed. Boarding pods. They are coming inside, the veteran muttered. He moved fast. Armor locking into place. Old scars hidden under steel. The first pod smashed into the ice near the door. Alien soldiers poured out. Weapons raised. The veteran opened the door manually. Cold air rushed in. Then stopped. He stepped outside alone. Storm tearing at his armor. Rifle steady in his hands. The aliens hesitated. They had expected surrender, not resistance. The veteran fired. Controlled bursts. Every shot precise. Alien soldiers fell one by one. The storm swallowed their bodies. More came. Faster. Desperate. The veteran moved like a machine. Training older than their empire. Instinct sharper than their sensors. An explosion knocked him back. Ice shattered. Pain flashed. He stood again. Unbroken. Inside, the wolves watched through sensors. Silent. Amazed. He fights like a pack, one whispered. The final ship tried to escape, turning its engines. The veteran smiled. Just once. He activated the last defense. A hidden rail cannon beneath the ice. The shot tore through the sky. The ship never had time to scream. Silence returned. The storm eased. Smoke drifted into the clouds. The veteran stood alone in the snow. Breathing hard. Alive. Inside the shelter. The alien wolves understood something new. Humans did not protect because they were strong. They were strong because they chose to protect. And far beyond the frozen planet, emergency signals spread through the galaxy. A message whispered through command networks. One human stood against us. And we lost. The battlefield grew quiet. But the galaxy did not. Emergency signals escaped before the ships were destroyed. Short bursts. Broken data. Enough to raise fear. Far away, in deep space, alien command centers lit up with alarms. Reports arrived fast. Confused. Impossible. 1 outpost destroyed. 3 hunter ships lost. Enemy count, 1 human. The Galactic officers stared at the data. Some laughed. Others went silent. That is not possible, one commander said. No single human could do this. But proof followed. Sensor logs. Combat recordings. Heat signatures of human weapons. Silence filled the chamber. On the frozen planet, the human veteran repaired his defenses. Moving slowly. Ignoring the pain in his body. Inside the shelter, the alien wolves watched him. Their fear replaced with something new. Respect. The leader stepped forward. Her voice steady now. We must tell the truth. She activated the data core hidden within her body. A soft pulse of light spread through the room. Files opened. War plans. Orders marked secret. Records erased from public history. Images showed humans shielding alien children. Human soldiers holding lines they could not win. Human medics treating wounded enemies. These were deleted, she said. They did not want the galaxy to see this. The veteran nodded. They never do. Together, they sent the message. Not as a threat. Not as a demand. As truth. The signal spread fast. Jumping relays. Crossing borders. Breaking firewalls. Across the galaxy. Citizens stopped and watched. Alien workers. Traders. Even soldiers. They saw humans not as monsters, but as protectors. As allies. In the Galactic Council chamber, arguments exploded. Shouts filled the air. They are lying, some cried. Others whispered. What if we were wrong? On the frozen world, new ships appeared in orbit. Human ships. Old military codes responded. The veterans' past called back. A human captain's voice filled the shelter. Sir, we detected hostile activity. The veteran looked at the wolves. Then at the screen. Stand down, he said calmly. They are under my protection. The channel went silent. Then the reply came. Understood. The wolves listened in shock. They listened to you, one whispered. They listened to humans, the veteran replied. Outside, human ships took positions. Not attacking. Not threatening. Guarding. Across the galaxy, alien patrols slowed. Orders were questioned. Fear began to change sides. For the first time, the galactic powers realized something dangerous. Humans were not alone. Humans were not weak. And humans would not stay silent anymore. On a small frozen planet, a single choice made in a storm, now echoed through the stars. And the galaxy watched, waiting to see what humans would do next. The frozen planet felt different now. Not safe, but protected. Human ships remained in orbit. Silent guardians against the dark. Inside the shelter, the alien wolves stood together. No longer shaking. No longer hunted. The human veteran sat quietly, cleaning his rifle. Like the war never ended. The wolf leader stepped forward. Her head lowered. Her voice steady. You saved us, she said. You did not have to. The veteran looked up slowly. I know, he replied. She hesitated. Then asked the question they all feared. What will you do with us now? The room felt heavy. History waited for his answer. The veteran stood, walking toward the window, looking at the endless white land. For years, he said, I fought because I was told to. He turned back to them. Then I stopped fighting, and the war followed me anyway. The wolves listened. Every word carried weight. You are not prisoners, he continued. And you are not weapons. He activated the console, displaying a wide stretch of land beyond the storm zone. This world is empty. But it does not have to be. The wolf's eyes widened. I will call human command, he said. Not to hand you over, but to claim protection. The call connected. High-level channels opened instantly. This is veteran code, he said calmly. I am invoking human asylum law. Silence followed. Then voices filled the channel. These are alien refugees, one officer warned. They are lives, the veteran replied. The pause felt endless. Then a single sentence came back. Request approved. The wolves dropped to the floor. Not in fear, but gratitude. Tears froze on their fur. Words spread quickly. Across human worlds. Across alien systems. Humans had given sanctuary. Not to their own, but to former enemies. The galaxy reacted in shock. Some called it weakness. Others called it madness. But many saw something new. Strength. Other hunted species began to move. Quiet signals. Careful steps. They did not run to empires. They ran to humans. On the frozen planet, shelters expanded. Lights appeared in the darkness. The wolves helped build, side by side with humans. Pack and squad becoming one. The veteran watched from a distance. A small smile on his scarred face. He never became a leader. Never asked for praise. But stories spread anyway. Of a human who opened a door when the galaxy closed its fist. In the Galactic Council, old laws began to break. Fear lost its grip. Because now everyone knew, humans did not rule by fear. They did not rule by force. They ruled by choice. And on a frozen night, when alien wolves collapsed at a human veteran's door, the future of the galaxy changed forever.